All right. Hello, hello. So, Renee here, and I am going to go live
All
today
right.
with a
Hello,
card.
hello.
I do have to mute myself.
Renee,
Sorry. Forgot about that little point, but always mute. Excuse the markings here on the right-hand side. They are just from my screen mirroring, but it should be all right. So we'll see how this works out. All right, so I'm going to make a card for you, okay, and see how we do that. So Renee here, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I am going to be presenting this pyramid pinwheel card, and it closes like this, and then you can open it up, and when you open it up you can see right here where you can write just a little note and give your little signature. And the pinwheel is really a cool card. This is standard dimensions and will fit into a standard envelope, which was really important to me. All right, so what I'm going to do is, since we are going to start working on the card, I am going to go ahead and take my video screen off, I believe, so that all you see now is my tabletop surface. Okay, so this is a first, so it's going to take me a few minutes. All right, so here is another card that was made, that is that pyramid pinwheel card, and this was made on a mystery night stamping get together that Candy Newsom Ford does, and she taught us how to do this 6x6. I'm not a great fan of square cards. No real reason but that it costs extra postage. It's a great card. It's wonderful, but I like standard cards. So I revamped it to make it into my standard card so that it would fit in that standard envelope. Okay, so let's look at this and see where we are. So the first thing is, let's look at the dimensions that I've given you here. And what you're going to have is a card that is 5.5 by 5. Okay. And then you're going to score it at 11/16. I know these numbers are odd, but I will show you again how to do this. But 11/16, 1 3/8, 2 1/16, 2 3/4. And what that leaves you with is a piece that is 2 1/4 by 5.5. I know that many people are challenged by the numbers, and I'm going to try and show you a little bit something. If you have this scoreboard and you look at this, remember 16/16 represents a whole, right? Is 1. So, and so you can think of these in terms of 16ths and 8ths. And what I have here is that the markings are actually in 16ths. We can all find the halfway point. Okay, so this is a halfway point. So this represents a quarter. So each of these boxes are a quarter, correct? And so half of a quarter is an eighth. So 2 tick marks is an eighth. The longest is the half. The next one is an eighth. And then the shortest one, a half of an eighth, is a 16th. So this would be 1/16, 2/16, which is divided by 2, an eighth. 3/16, 4/16. A lot of times I think of the big tags, the big hashtags, the quarters and the halves in terms of eighths or 16ths to sometimes make it easier. For example, I know that this is a half, So that means it must be 4/8 or it's going to be 8/16. So I think of it in those terms to help me make my measurements. So when you have your piece, what you literally are going to do is 3/4, again, 3/4 is actually 12/16. So one less than 3/4 is 11/16. So a lot of times this is how I look at this board and calculate it. I don't know if I made it worse for some of you. Maybe I made it better for others. But remember that these are divided in 16ths. And so every eighth, every middle tag, every eighth motion, okay, every 2 slashes is an eighth, right? And in between those 2 slashes is a 16th. So maybe that will work out for you. But I just wanted to mention that because of these numbers are a little different to make them work out perfectly the way I wanted it to go. So 11/16, 1 3/8, 2 16, 2 3/4. And then what you're left with, since this was 5, is 2 1/4. So this ends up to be 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. So on your pinwheel, you are going to need 4 of these 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you cut 2 1/4 by 5 1/2 3 more times. Okay, so you will need this and then 3 strips that are 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. The next piece is what we're going to do is we're going to have that backing. And what I decided, that white backing on that cardstock, and I decided that I'd rather go by eighths than by quarters. So what I did is, if I have 5 1/2, that's 5 4/8. So an eighth less is 5 3/8 by 2 1/8. So I made 4 of these 5 3/8 by 2 1/8. 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So now after that, to make this card, we are going to need some DSP that goes on top of that white. So if this was 2 1/8, as I said, let me see here. I said 2 1/8 by 5 3/8. So this is going to be 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. I think so, because that's 2/8. Yes, 2 1/4 by 5 1/4 is what this was. Now, this is the DSP that I used. This is one of the new DSPs, as you can see. All right, and I need 4 of those strips that will go just simply directly on here. All right, so that's those. And you need 4 of those. Just an eighth less, which is 2/8, which is 1/4, so 5 1/4 by 2 1/4, by 2, excuse me. By 2. That's what this is, 5 1/4 by 2. Yes. All right, so next then, I do have these strips. If you look at the card, you will see these strips right here. All right, and these strips are each going to be, if I remember correctly, which I don't, is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. So these are each 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And I need 4 of those. There you go. And then 1 strip finally of white that is going to be where you write your sentiment, and that is 1 1/2 by 4 3/4. Those are the measurements. I did use the wonderful punch here, this new punch that is out, that is going to be part of my labeling. And so that was in one fell swoop. So that did that. Let me move this over so you can see. Can't quite see that. So this is a first, so be patient. So anyway, so here is this punch, which will be great. And so that's a punch that I used. And then I'm going to be using, as far as colors go, I decided just Bumblebee and just Jade are going to be my two colors. Those are they. And then what I am using is the Wrapped Bouquet cling stamp. And this is going away by June 30th. There's 31 days in June, I don't remember. But anyway, this is going away by June 30th. It's a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful set. There is no other stamp set that is like this. And the dies that go with it are just wonderful. And one of the dies, which is fantastic, so these are the dies. This die in particular will make you a newspaper fold for your bouquet of flowers, which I absolutely love. And I love that. Basically, this is why I wanted this stamp set, because when I was a kid, we did get our flowers wrapped in newspaper. And you'll see the way I did this is that it exactly goes over your stamped piece. So you can simply stamp this flower from that set and then build this little cute little newspaper wrap. And it works just great. Isn't that fantastic? I love it. Anyway, so that's that one. So there you go. I did do one out of this coloring also, and we'll see which one looks better at the end. To do that, I did use the stamp. Let me see if I can find that piece now. I'm not sure I will. Yes, there it is. I did stamp both to make that little newspaper wrap. You would stamp both sides. It doesn't matter how, that stamp both sides, and then use that die to cut this out, like right over here. You can see that I used washi tape to stick it down so I could get it exactly where I want. And then you'll have both sides with newspaper print, so that you have both sides with newspaper print. And it doesn't matter which side or how it goes. It really doesn't matter, since when you wrap the paper, it really doesn't matter. So that's what I did there to get that. Okay, so let's look at this card and let's see if we can't go ahead and do this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to simply fold these like this. 1, 2, right on those. 3 and 4. So I did score that already. And so all you want to do is make sure that you go ahead and fold that. You can burnish that really well if you like. There you go. There you go. And there you go. All right. And then all you're going to do is make a tube. So all I do is I just fold that in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just fold it in to make a square little tube. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take that last flap. And when I do flaps that I want to stay glued, I always use my Tombow. So now I don't remember if I said who I am. Renee with Independent Demonstrator with Stampin' Up. That is who I am. And it is important that you like my video, especially since I'm doing it the first time this way. I would like to know that I didn't make a complete fool out of myself. So anyway, and so I'm just going to glue that down. All right, just glue that down. just go to the corner and glue that down. I'm not so much in the screen. I have to get up here. I can see that. I can see that. So I just glued that down like that and made my tube. That's all you're doing, just a square, square, square tube. That's all it is. All right, let it sit here for a second. All right. And then what we're going to do after that is we are going to go ahead and take these pieces, these 2 1/4 by 5 1/2, and we are going to go around and glue each of them on here. 1, 2, 3, and then we're done. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I do start, so this is my first one, and so I'm going to start right away at my second one right here. All right, so all I'm going to do is take my little Tombow and I'm going to like to make sure my edges are glued. I'm hoping that I'm in view. I don't think I'm in view very much. Sorry about that. I'm working on that. I will work on that. Then you want to go ahead, as you see here, you want to glue that down just like that. Just like that. Then you're going to go to your other edge. Again, you're just going to go to that other edge and you're going to glue that down. Just like the other one. And all that writing is going to disappear once I put the layers on. When you do this card, I would not use too heavy stock or too colored stock papers. It becomes really heavy really fast. So I would use the basic white as a foundation as the next cardstock that I use. On my other one, I'll show you again, I did not, and it came out way too heavy for me. So the nice thing about this is that we're going to fold it this way. So what I did is, so I glued each piece and then I'm just going to fold it down this way because I want it to open. I do want it to open more like this, I believe. Is that the, yeah, because that's the one that comes. I like the one that comes from the original cardstock to be the front. Oop, that kind of slid. So let's fix that. That kind of slid a little bit. Make sure it doesn't slide. There we go. And actually, I think it slid and I am going to have to kind of remove it. It's okay, no worries, because no one will see it at the end. So I do have to re-glue this. So I'm going to go like that and go more like that. And it'll be okay, I hope. If not, I can always cut another piece, which I think, yeah, there you go. There you go. That'll be better. Yes, that'll be better. That'll be better. There you go. That'll be just fine. That'll work. That'll work. That'll work. There you are. Burnish those, all those sides. Make sure it just folds really nicely. And really any side can open up that you like. On this card, what I like to do is, the way I did it was that I had, yeah, like that and like that. So that is the way. Yes, I think so. So there you go. All right. So now what we're going to do is start layering. That's all we're going to do. Now, when I do this part, I don't need it to be cemented in place. So what I'm going to use is my other paper. And I had another one, which I think I'm going to use because I don't like what I did here, and I might have to redo it still again. It didn't come out. You have to be careful when you do those edges that you put it not too far, and it has to be just on the edge so it doesn't mess up. So I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. So as you can see here are the measurements. This is the one I wanted to use, so I will use this one. So what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our white cardstock on this, all right? And as you saw, this base was 2 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then this is just, again, 1/8 less. And so what I'm going to do is see a little spot there, that'll go away. Yeah, there it is. And so what I'm going to do is look for the good side and glue this down. So I'll glue this down. Now there are 4 sides to this. So here you go. You want to center that. Why I like this glue is because it's more patient with me. And so we got that centered. Then we go to our next panel. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. And we're going to go ahead and get that glued down. I'm being very risky because I didn't shut my door. And with my animals and family, ooh, you never know. And then here is the other one. So we go ahead and do this. We could at any time hear my husband, dogs, birds, since I have them all. This is that 5 3/8 piece. That's good. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this. And you can see here, I am gluing the edges because I want those edges to definitely be down. So there we go. And again, just want to make sure you go ahead and move that to where you need it. There we go. So there you go there you go there, and there you are. Okay. And so I believe this is the, yeah, this is my front because these are the 2 panels. This is how I do it. So you can see that those are my 2 initial panels. Then I'm going to glue these on. And I haven't decided whether I was going to do it this way and then have these smaller strips this way, or should I go this way and have my smaller strips that way? I guess more coordination is better, so I will go this way. And so that looks more like the pink here that is in that set. And so we're just going to put that right there and center it. It's a lot of layering, but that's okay. Good. That's that one. Might as well put this piece on there. Opa, wrong side. I'll just wipe that off. So there you go. That's up and down, so that's good. And then that just went on here. I could have done a white layer. I did not do a white layer. So I did not do that. And what I use sometimes, if I can find it, wonder if I can find it. I have a spritz bottle that I love to use and to wet things down, but since I don't know where my spritz bottle is. Oh, there it is. So sometimes when I forget my water or something like that, I use my spritz bottle because I'm going to need to wipe that little bit of glue that I had on there off. And I have this little sponge. I'm just going to wipe that off just a little bit. That should be okay. And then go ahead and, yeah, that should be fine. I just didn't want that to be there, that glue to be there, and that should be fine. Should be fine, unless I just turn that blue, which I think I did. Okay, so another mistake. All right, so I'm gonna have to cut another piece of that. All right. All right. So that's what happens in lives. You go ahead and make mistakes. And so I will go ahead and try that again. I will take this side and I'll just cut myself another strip. That won't be too bad. But here you go. When you do lives, you have to realize mistakes can happen. That's okay. We all make mistakes. And that's all right. Okay, so that's that one. So it's going to be the same thing here. You're going to take this piece and you're going to go ahead and glue that down. So I thought that sponge, I did the area that was clean enough, but obviously I did not. There you go. And then this is going to be this side. So I'm going to glue that. Make sure you guys can see. That's going to be the challenge on this new video system. So here we go again. Just center that. Just like that. That looks good. There you go. There you go. There you go. Center that. And we have our other piece here again. Again, just glue that down. Put that down straight. And then go ahead. Now this paper that I had was in a, we did a paper share, which was fantastic. It's a great paper share. And we were able to do that paper share all together. And there you go. We did this paper share all together. And this is some of the paper that I got. And so I don't have much of it since there are 4 of us, so we really only got a quarter. But let's see if I don't still have another piece here that I can cut. But before I do that last piece, what I will do is I will go ahead and design my card. So basically, as I said before, from the original, what we're going to do is we're going to use this as my 3-dimensional. And I'm going to go ahead and put that right there with my beautiful little wrap. Now you don't have to have the wrap, obviously, but I love the wrap. So, and of course you'll be able to remove it if you like, but I'm just going to go ahead. This card is pretty bulky, so I am not going to put any of the dimensionals on. Some of you might prefer that. I will not. And this is what I'm going to choose to do. And I actually like to keep it open because then you can literally open it up. So I actually don't want to close it or glue it. I think it's cute that you can take it out. The next item is that when you open this up, what you want to make sure you do is that as you open this card up, that you will need somewhere to put this other little piece here. And so the way I'm going to do it is it would be right here, and this is where my sentiment would be, is right next to that. So I'm going to glue this. This is where I could put something else down that I would want to say. And that just went right next to it, right on that other side. Like that. So you see, as you open that card up, it's right behind that. That's what I thought was kind of the good place for it. All right. And then as you see here, we're pretty much in the bottom. It's a quick card. And here is my, let's see if I can find that now, my little punch, my punch outs. Can I find, yes, here it is. And what I want to do now is simply go ahead and put this down. Now, because of the way this goes, as you see here, I had more space. I could put it up here, or I could put it here, right at the bottom. I think this is the wrong, yes, I think that's the wrong punch outs. Is that the wrong punch outs? Yes, that's the two, that's a little bit too big. Yes, that is the larger one. And I actually thought that is what I used, but it looks like what I used were the dies that had those small punch outs. Here it is. This was actually from the die set that I used. Yes, that is smaller. It is. It wasn't the punches. Well, today is an interesting day. There's some mistakes being made, but that is that one. and it has scalloped. They don't sell them anymore, unfortunately. But I do have a box where I have them in. Let's see if I have that. If I don't, I have another idea anyway that I could do. And I might do this instead for this one. I might go ahead and just do the little circular punch, put it on a little, or I could even do it here like that. That'd be cute. Because this one will work right here. You can definitely do that if you like. But I think with that wrap, as that wrap is, since I tried the wrap for the first time, I'm going to go ahead and do something like this maybe. Yeah, I think I will. Because I think that doesn't quite, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on there with dimensional and with dimensionals. And what I'm going to try and hope is say something like for you, something kind of small, or I can do the love you bunches because that was really nice. This is just another way of doing this. Let's see if the love you bunches will work. It does, it's perfect. Love you bunches, and I'll take that. And the color that I'm going to use is the, I think I'm going to use the yellow. Oh, yellow, green, yellow, green. Let's try the green. And I'm going to test that first, like I always do. That's good. I'm going to do that right there. Love you bunches. Isn't that fun? And then have that right there. What I could do, and I'm going to look at see now if I can't put some ribbon right there. And I think that'll really smarten it up. And the ribbon that I would like to use is going to be, now I do have some, sure, I have some green ribbon. This will be the ribbon that I would use. Just right there and there, and then have the bunches there. Yes, let's go ahead and do that. Well, this is making it as you go. That is for sure today. Now I could wrap the whole thing, and but I'm not going to. I'm just going to do it on that one side. So what I do is I'm going to do this, and I'm going to simply glue that down and then cut it. That's all I'm going to do. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take some glue dots and go ahead and go with that with the glue dots. And our glue dots, excuse me, I'm going to stand, and what I will do instead is use the sealant tape. I wasn't going to use glue dots, so they weren't around, but I can use this tape, which is fantastic, which will work. And what I do is I'm going to get that in the center like that. That's good. Hold up that end and cut that off. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it all the way to the end. Yeah, take it all the way to the end and then cut it off. I think I like it that way. There you go. And then I'm going to go ahead, see how cute that is. Look how cute that is. That works. That works perfectly. And then now I will have my adhesive here. I'm going to use is what I'm going to use is the dimensionals. Here are the dimensionals. Just put 3 dimensionals on. That's all. And then right in the center, I'm going to put down this Love You Bunches. There's the card. There it is. Now I can cut this. Of course, I would cut that. And if you want to wait for me to cut that, that'll be great. There you go. This worked out better this way because then they can open this up and take this out or whatever. It's kind of cute. Just a cute idea. It can be glued down if you like, but I kind of like it this way. What I want to do is cut that piece. So to do that, I'm going to get my paper here, and here it is, and my cutting tool. And again, this is going to be then 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. That's what it was. Put that there and there. Go to the 1 1/4. 1 1/4. Go down 1 1/4 with my cutting board here. And since it's 5 1/4, I'm just going to go down to 5 1/4, I think. So 1 1/4. See if I can do it. 1 1/4. That's it. 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to use the markings on the right hand side to 5 1/4. All right. And then all I'm going to do, as you see here, I'm going to just cut across there. To make sure that I have that in the, all I have to do is make sure that I have that in that grid there. And then just cut up from there. And there you go. And there's that piece. And so now what we have is we can finish that card off. And so I'm going to glue this side. There you go. Glue that side down. That's all it takes. There's your cute card. There it is. Always when you make changes from one card to the next, you never know what's going to happen. And I have a tendency to do that on the fly. So I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope you like the card and that you will try the card. It's there is quite a bit of cutting. It is true, but it's such a fun card. And I hope you will try it. Again, please like. I really appreciate it if you would like for me. And I am an independent demonstrator. So if you do decide that watching this video that you want this set, I do highly suggest this wrapped bouquet set. There's nothing like it. I haven't seen anything like it in the past 2 years that I have been there. So I think that this is great. And the code is 154550. And but this would be just for the stamp set. but you can get the bundle still for 10% until the end of June. So if you do buy from me, check out in the description below what my site is. I'll give you the link to my site and you can go directly to the site. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. And let me see, I can now turn on my video and say hello and goodbye. And thank you very much for watching and living through my gaffes and my first live YouTube video ever. So thank you very much. Goodbye now.